so it doesn't make noise.
Welcome everyone to another All That Wine live stream. I'm getting confused here between my Wines of Italy and the All That
Because
Wine.
you're so active lately, which is great.
Because it feels like now when I have a bit more energy, I want to do a lot of things, and then I get tired.
That's awesome. So happy to hear that.
Anyway, today we have, I would say, the Christmas edition of the All That Wine, and our guest, me and Susanna's, is Davide Gaeta. Professor Davide Gaeta, who is the co-owner of Eleva Winery in Valpolicella in Veneto. So we will talk about Valpolicella wines, but not only. We will also talk about Oseleta grape, which is a very interesting grape, in my opinion. And we will talk about the specific area where they're located. So do you want to take over, Susanna, with some questions?
Sure, of course. Hi, I'm Susanna. Together with Caterina, we have a collaboration called All That Wine and an organization called Vigneto Coms. And I'm so happy to be here with Davide today to learn more about his winery. And I would love you to introduce yourself and your winery, Davide, and let us know a little bit to start exactly where you are and about the terroir and that beautiful location where you are.
Yeah, thank you, Susanna, and thank you, Caterina. It's a great occasion, a great honor for me. I would like to try to explain you a nice story of this winery, actually a romantic story of this winery.
That's
So,
perfect for the holidays.
yeah, exactly. No, I'm as you told, as you said, I'm professor in university, and I'm quite old, so that's why
È
I
tutto
made
relativo, so you know.
No, it's true. Quite old, you are young, and I made a lot of things because of this reason. And so I founded, together with my colleagues, the first faculty of enology in Italy in the Jurassic period, so 2,000 years ago, 2 million years ago. And I'm still teaching in university as professor of wine management and the market of agri-food system in the faculty of marketing. And for this reason comes out the story of Eleva, if I can steal you a few minutes to tell you. Because as I told you, so it was about 30, 35 years ago. And at the end of my class, a student of mine came to ask me if I could speak with her husband. She was a student, not normally young as a student, because it was her second or third degrees and the husband presented himself. He told me, I am a surgeon of the heart of children. And we, together with my colleagues, we made a foundation for collecting money for saving children around the world with this disease. That is quite, it's quite spread all over. Many children were born with this disease of the heart. And the foundation got a legacy. Inside this legacy, there was many other things, but also a wine estate in Valpolicella.
Okay.
They only knew that it was a hill, but they didn't know, first of all, what it means, the value, and so on. So they asked me to go and visit it and give a kind of valuation and also what to do. So I arrived here and it was completely abandoned for many, many years. So I could hardly see vineyard. It was completely covered by a forest of trees and so on. So, but I could see the potential because it's now 18 terrace with walls of wood, of stones coming from the Middle Age. 18 terrace with different varieties and all exposed to the sun because they are all the sun rise in Verona and falls in the Lake of Garda that is 10 minutes from here. And we can see it because we have a wonderful view, a fantastic landscape, really. So I went back to the board in Milano and I told them, you got an enormous plan. I mean, a hill altogether, 10 hectares in Valpolicella, the best area of Valpolicella, what we call the terroir of the main vineyards. It's a really, first of all, very seldom to find, but also the perfect soil for making fantastic wines. So they were very happy. They were very happy of this news, of course. But they told me we are a non-profit organization. Our job is to collect money for saving children. How can we manage a company? And also, in Susanna, you know very well that in wine, as I used to say in my class, you have to be billionaire to become millionaire.
Right. We say the same thing in English. In order to, you own a winery and then you lose a big fortune to make a small
Exactly.
fortune, right? Like having a boat, same thing, right?
Exactly. So at the end, they told me, why don't you buy it? Hmm.
You personally, why don't you buy it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I don't know, Susanna. I know that in US, the professor in university are a little richer than me.
I don't know. I think it's relative. Relative.
But
Everything's
yeah,
relative.
but anyhow, not so rich to buy a winery
Right. No, of
usually.
course not. Yeah.
So I said I can't. I mean, I can't alone. But I went to Alessandro, the surgeon, and I said, "You put me in this trouble. I mean, you put in this in this position. At least you have to help me. I mean, at least let's share it, no?" And he told me, well, let's be foolish. And so we decided to buy the hill and the estate. But now comes the romantic part of the story. With the money that we gave to the foundation, we decided to build an hospital in the center of Africa, the only hospital for the heart of the children in the center of Africa. Actually, in Cameroon,
In Cameroon.
in a small village called Chisson.
What's the name of
About
the hospital?
the name of the hospital as the name of the village hospital. But you should imagine what means building an hospital 15 hours from the airport in the forest. So there was absolutely nothing. And not only we built the hospital, but we built a village. I mean, all the families that are waiting for the child to be surgered, they are outside, and we create an organization, another non-profit organization for sport. So they learn basket and volleyball, and the, the brother and the sister that are around the hospital are occupied
Got
during the day, because
right.
Mm.
the risk of not being occupied in these places, it's that you become a crime, no? It's
Right.
criminality.
Yep.
So, and the doctor, they come from all Europe, voluntary to work in the hospital each week, and they turn themselves, no? So there is always someone working for saving children.
Okay.
So I have to say that I'm quite proud of what we did, because I think that in this way, it's really true that wine is good for the heart.
Well, that
Yeah.
is a very wonderful story. Do you have a sense of how many operations or children have been through your hospital?
Thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah. I have to be honest that one big problem is that in this country there is a big war going
Mm.
on between different
Tried.
tribes, no?
Yeah, of course.
And so it's very, very dangerous now
Mm.
for
Mm.
the doctors to go there. Thanks God, we have priests and sisters that are taking care of the hospital,
Mhm. Missionaries.
missionary.
Mm.
Missionaries. Yep.
So thanks God, because otherwise
Yeah.
the, it's almost forbidden now to go there.
Wow. Well, maybe the situation will change. One can hope.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's
Mm.
hope. Yeah.
So, are the profits of the wine sales going to the hospital, or is that a separate issue? Are they related in that way, or is it?
It's absolutely separate on a legal way. I mean, we
Uh-huh.
are a company, a
Uh-huh.
legal company called Società Agricola.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a professor of economy, of course, we have uh, a company that is official, so we make a balance sheet every year, you know. It's quite seldom in the wine sector to have a company that you can, we call it società di capitali,
Of course.
Mm.
no?
Yep.
Usually they are not. Usually they are società di persone, no? So
Mhm.
they have non hanno bilancio, they have no balance.
Yes. No. Do you
Mm.
make a balance sheet that's like based on the values of the UN, kind of the development goals? Is that
No,
where
this
you're
is the
going?
goal. This
Yep.
is the goal.
Yep.
This is the goal. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we are very, very little.
Mm-hmm. You
It's,
have 10
it's
or 18 hectares? 10 hectares?
no, but not with vineyard. We have the half of vineyards. The rest is olive
Olive
trees
trees.
Okay.
and the forest, and a very nice forest, full of animals, by the way.
Right.
And so they are separate, but of course we have a lot of things together. Like, for example, we make every year a prize to the best researcher that wrote about cardio surgery and
Mm-hmm.
cardiopathy
Cardiology. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
to young researcher.
That's
And this prize is connected to Barnard. It
yes.
was the
I live
first.
10 minutes from Barnard.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Barnard College.
no, Barnard was the first surgeon in the world.
Oh no, sorry. I thought you
That
meant
was
Barnard
Okay.
College here in England.
no, he was the first surgeon in the world that was able to operate
Oh,
the heart of a person.
okay.
Uh, I think 30 or 40 years ago.
Hmm. I've
So
never.
from that moment now, it's possible to survive when you have a heart disease, thanks to him.
Yeah.
So we give a prize to the young searchers that are working on this field.
Is it the Società Agricola Eleva Prize? Is that the name of the prize?
No, the price is Barnard price, and we do it together with another winery
Uh-huh.
that is a very good friend of us. That is Costa Rica.
Oh, I know
It's
Costa
Yeah,
Rica,
yeah.
of course.
maybe also Mattia Vezzola, the owner.
Yes,
Yep.
And Mattia was a very good friend of Barnard. He
Okay.
presented me, and he made this price. And then when we started together, we decided to put together the effort for the price. So in this moment, you together, Costa Rica and Eleva, and we make a big party every summer to
That
give.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So they're in Valtenesi, but let's get back to your winery. Can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about where you're located exactly for our listeners who don't know?
Yeah, Valpolicella, it's originally made by 5 villages, and originally means the Roman period.
Hmm.
If you come in Verona, and I hope you will do it, I will bring you to a place that very few people knows, that is called the Biblioteca Capitolare. Have you heard about it, Susanna?
I've
No,
heard about it, but I don't
heard about it,
know.
but the academic Caterina, have you been?
No, I haven't been, but I have seen it or heard about it.
Yeah.
Is it in Verona?
It's in Verona, it's in the center of Verona, exactly connected to the dome,
Uh-huh.
no? But uh, pay attention, Susanna, it's the oldest library in the world.
Oh,
Really?
okay, I didn't know that.
I
Yes.
didn't know that either.
And there are books of 1,000 years that are fantastic. All the researchers from Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, Stanford, all the world, they come to study in the Biblioteca Capitolare to analyze these books. And one of these books is the book of Plinio il Vecchio. Have you heard about it?
Of course,
He's the
Pliny the
first,
Elder.
he's the first writer of the Roman period. We are speaking about 80 years after Christ.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He wrote about a grape that he found in this, exactly in this area where we are now. This grape he named Acinaticum.
Mhm.
That is a special grape because the grape is not too connected, but is, we say, spargolo.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the English name, but you
Sparkle would
understand.
be like loose, but the bunch is kind of
Yeah,
loose, not so
exactly,
compact.
exactly.
Mhm.
And Susanna, this is very important because it's the father of the main practice we do here. That is the appassimento, the drying of the grape.
Mhm.
If the grape was not losing, if it was compact,
Mhm.
we couldn't do it because otherwise mushrooms and
Right.
other
It would get a lot of rot.
Fungus, yeah.
Mhm.
exactly. So Plinio Vecchio, he wrote about this area, and for this reason, only these 5 villages that he mentioned are allowed to use in the label the name Classico under the name of the appellation.
Mm.
So we produce Amarone Classico, for example. No, probably you can see it, but only us can write Classico, and the drinker, the consumer, by seeing Classico on the label, understand that it comes from the originally part of the Valpolicella. Then during the years, Valpolicella enlarged and went to the direction of Soave, just for understanding, east.
Right.
And so now we have the other Valpolicella Classico and the other Valpolicella that is
La
divided in
Valpontena.
subzone. Valpantena, for example, there are many other
Uh-huh.
subzones. So we are exactly where the history of the Amarone and the famous wine of Valpolicella start. And the reason why is due to the soil, because this soil comes from an old. This place was world famous for the marble, for the black pink stone from Verona. That is a special stone that was extracted by the cave. All around here was caves everywhere.
So marble around? Marble
Yes,
quarries?
yes, yes. Uh, because originally this was a sea.
Are we
And
talking about which period? Do you know which period it was a sea in? Millions
Must
and
have
millions of
been
years
millions of
ago.
years ago. No?
Yeah,
I'm not an expert of this,
me
but
neither.
I think it's the same as in Tuscany, you know, along the coast when it was the
yeah,
seabed.
yeah. For example, and that's why it's a perfect soil, because the grape of red vineyards, we say that it needs to suffer.
Yeah.
They have to go. The roots of the grapes have to go deeply in the soil to find water and to find the mineral. And for this reason, for example, the most famous wine in Italy, red wine, is called Sassicaia, no? Because of
Because
the
of the
stone.
sassy.
Yeah, it's,
Yep.
so that's why the perfect soil. Can I say that there is also another very important factor of production, that is the wind. The wind comes every morning from the Lake of Garda, so I mean west, and goes direction of Verona. So it passes through all the vineyards, and it's cleaning the vineyards from all the mushrooms.
Right, from all of the potential for parasites and fungus. So, which of the winds from Garda? I know there are three that are important winds on Garda. Does it blow every day around the same time? I've always found that shocking.
No. This
No?
first of all, you are speaking of wind that are local on the Garda, and these Bel Air.
Yeah.
They come from the south. One is coming from the south of the
Yep.
lake, where is Sirmione.
Right.
The other one is coming from the north of the lake, that is Riva del Garda, and the wind arrives at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's why it's one of the most famous places for sailing.
For windsurfing.
Yeah, true.
Windsurfing.
Are you speaking about the tramontana of a different wind?
Yes, tramontana, but from the north, and it's as a local name, but it's an Olympic game area.
Yes, you're having the Winter Olympics.
So we have this wind that arrives slowly every morning, and that's why we are organic. I'm also very proud, because we have decided to be organic from the beginning, and you know how complicated and expensive it is, and how it's difficult to explain to the consumer this part, because Susanna, the willingness to pay about organic wine is very little. And probably it's a problem that we call it in economics, we call it asymmetric information.
Good.
Yes, that's a very good term, asymmetric information.
Yeah.
Also, I would imagine you're able to be organic because you're surrounded by forest, right? So that protects you on the other side.
That's true. But for being completely honest, in the forest, we have a lot of animals that are mostly eating our grape. And that's an enormous problem. As Caterina knows, I was responsible of a very important appellation some years ago, for many years, that is Chianti Classico. the consortium. And there we have an enormous problem with this
With the cinghiale.
Animals, yeah.
cinghiali and also deer, this
Oh.
dying.
Okay.
And so they eat the grape. So here the same. I have all the families, 8 children and mother, and we have 3 reindeers and so on.
Mm.
And what do you do to protect your grapes since you don't use chemicals, or I don't know, is it netting? What techniques does an organic winery use to protect it from
The
animals?
only thing we can do now is a special alarm that is
Okay.
making noise when the animal arrives, and it makes a light, a flash.
So you scare them.
And the noise. But
Or-
the result is that they don't get scared.
No,
And
they get used
They
to
get
the.
used
They
to it.
even come in my bedroom. So
They get used to it. Well,
not
it's the
working well.
holidays, so maybe you'll be more tolerant. You have a whole range, a whole human, animal menagerie in your
Probably, Susanna, the best thing is to offer to drink them and to
Probably.
Yeah,
drink
make
and
them get them
make
drunk.
them
Are
drunk.
there varieties that they like better than others? Do the animals prefer one grape to another?
No, they drink, they eat everything
They eat
actually.
everything. Okay.
And no, but that's an enormous problem, not only here. All the viticultural area have this enormous problem, also because the hunters are disappeared.
True, there's very
Well,
limited.
there's a lot of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are people still hunting in the Veneto? Is it still a lot? I don't know much about hunting.
Absolutely not like before.
Okay.
It's much more changed.
Mm,
Also, many things, social habits and so on.
of course.
And
Yeah.
and also because there is an enormous bureaucracy.
Mm.
If you kill an animal, I mean, it's easier to sell cocaine than hunting.
Well, that's true. There's a lot of laws to follow and
Yes.
restrictions and
We have
periods.
none of that here in America, so bring it on. Bring on some restrictions, please. Anyway, I digress. Do you want to talk about some of your wines and some of the grapes you go? I know Caterina's very interested in Oceleta as a grape variety, correct?
Yes, that's another very interesting part of our
I don't know if
winery.
you will start to talk about your Valpolicella wines. I don't know, as you prefer.
I'm sorry, Caterina, what you
I don't know if you
mentioned.
want to start to talk about the Valpolicella wines, or do you want to do the Oceleta towards the end?
Yeah.
Or
No, I mean, probably everyone knows the Valpolicella is a pyramid of three, 4 important wines. What is the Valpolicella Classico? Is the wine that we produce every year, and is mostly made by 3 varieties that are Corvina, Corvinone, and Rondinella.
Mhm.
And many years ago, there was also another variety that is called Molinara,
Mm.
but is now disappearing.
Why is that?
Because it's a very light red,
Okay.
and it was perfect for making a kind of drink together with water in the summer for the farmers.
Okay.
They were working on the vineyards, drinking this Molinara as a beverage.
Understood.
But it's not so important and strong to become in the cuvée or in the blend of important wine like the Valpolicella wines.
Mm.
Then we have the Ripasso that is world famous, and it was one of the best invention that could
But
be
it's true
done.
now that you didn't want to make a ripasso in the beginning, no? You have some discussion internal.
Yeah, in our case, in our winery, we give a name of each wine, a fantasy name. So the Valpolicella, that is our wine for every day. I'll show you the bottle because it's it's easier to understand. This wine, we call it fra libri.
Fra libri.
That means in Italian, between books.
Mm.
Because between books, both me and Alessandro, my partner, and Raffaella, my partner, the wife of Alessandro, that was my student, we spend our life between books. I mean, some books we have also written, but because we are both professors, also Alessandro is professor in cardiology, but our student doesn't read it.
Oh, okay.
So we dedicate the wine to the books. That's funny. Then we made the ripasso, but Raffaella didn't want to do it because she wanted a special ripasso. So every year she presented me the sample to taste. I said, perfect, let's go in bottle. And she said no. And she said no for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So at the end, when she said yes, okay, now let's go. We took this. We made the first bottle of the ripasso. We named it Tenzone. That is the name of the famous battle between chevalier. You remember in the Middle Age, between usually was singola tenzone, was a battle for a girl. No? In this case, it's a battle of the wine. So we call it tenzone.
That's actually funny.
Yeah. And then after many years of research, because this is a very important part of our winery, because of this strong connection with university, we have a lot of students and professors that are working here, making research and so on. You know, we have a very nice terrace of Merlot, because here we have 8 different varieties, apart the 3 typical that are Corvina, Corvinone. So it's a lot of biodiversity of grapes, and all our wines are a blend of different grapes. So
I'm sorry for interrupting. Are they planted is each grape variety planted separately on a different terrace, or is it like a selezione massale? Are they integrated different rows of grape varieties in different terraces? How does that work? Do you plant everything separately?
We have 2 terraces for one variety.
Okay.
So we have 18 terraces and 2 terraces for each variety. So we harvest separately because the maturation of the grapes is different in the time. So we start at the end of August with the Merlot, that you know is the first grape that is harvested. And we end with the last one in November. So we have to separate all the wines in different tanks, and then we blend in spring.
You blend in the spring. Okay. You were saying before I interrupted you about the terraces. It just occurred to me.
No,
you were talking about the wine.
We had this terrace of Merlot, and you know, I don't know your taste, but Susanna, I'm mad of Bordeaux.
I like Bordeaux, and I have always loved Merlot, despite that awful movie Sideways, when everyone went to Pinot Noir and abandoned Merlot. I never abandoned Merlot, ever. I've always loved Merlot.
I got mad of Bordeaux because I started to teach in Bordeaux University, and so the student and the professor, the colleagues made me taste Chateau Margaux, Mouton-Rocher, Cheval Blanc, Aubryon, Chateau d'Yquem.
Hamal, I mean, not bad. Lucky you.
Not that bad.
So by my benchmark of
It's pretty high. All
it's
right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to taste your Merlot. After hearing that, I can't wait. If that's your benchmark, if that's where
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's
So I came
another
back.
Merlot
I
for
came
you.
back and I said, Raffaella, I made a fantastic tasting. I have to do exactly this. I want to do a Chateau Lafite here in our wine. And so we started to work with the Merlot. But, by the way, the Merlot in this latitude
Hmm.
in Veneto,
What latitude are we talking about?
yeah, we are uh, we are west from Napoli. That is the same latitude of New York,
Mhm.
so much northern, but not north enough like France,
Right,
like Bordeaux.
right.
So what happens to our Merlot? I hope that the producer of Merlot in Veneto will not be angry with me from what I'm saying. But
Okay.
no, our Merlot is fantastic nose,
No, that is true.
but it's a little bit lazy as body. No,
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a bit
That's
light.
certainly not like the Veneto style of work. Nobody in the Veneto is lazy, right? You're all
no, but
very
I
hard
mean,
workers.
no, not lazy. That is
I
not
know,
what
I'm
we. But
kidding.
it falls a little bit. At least our
Falls
Merlot
off. Okay.
falls off. So you have a very good parfum, but it needs body. And so I was trying to find a partner for the blend that was exactly the opposite.
Hmm.
Full body, no, but not not ruin the nose, not ruin
So
the
this
palate.
is where the Tiraldigo came in?
No, it's a
Not
later.
erotic,
Ozoleta.
Teoseleta. So we tried every year in a barrique to blend this Merlot with 1 year Corvina, 1 year Teroldego, 1 year Corvinone, and so on. After 8 years, we find this perfect match. That
Okay.
is a vineyard. It was a small vineyard that we had almost forgotten
Hmm.
because it's a local grape that is disappeared, Susanna. It's disappeared because it's making grapes little like this,
Small, small.
Yeah.
so small. And Caterina knows that in this dialect, the name Oseleta means small bird.
Little bird.
Yeah. Marilisa Allegrini told me that years ago. That
Yeah,
it means small
exactly.
bird. I know she was in
Small
love with
bird.
that grape variety.
It's a fantastic grape, but it's so expensive to produce because
Yeah.
Really.
imagine that for making a bottle you need 50, 60 grapes.
For one bottle. Wow.
Yeah,
No, it's
so
true. The
I
few
used to
wineries who
put
make like monovarietal are extremely
I
expensive.
have
Oh my goodness.
few of them that do it,
Yeah,
but
it's a couple only.
it's so full of tannin, so
Mm.
full of tannin
Hmm.
that
That is
if you want
fantastic.
to do it alone, if you want to do it alone, you have to keep it many years.
Hmm.
It's like
Otherwise, it's
Kevin. You know Kevin. Yeah, we met in
it's
Montefalco. Kevin.
Yes.
What's his last name?
Gannon. No. Singer?
Yes, he
Yeah.
loves Ozeleta.
But
So
he also loves Sagrantino. So,
because it has a
that's
lot
just
of
a lot of
tannins. So.
tannin. That's
yeah,
It
fun.
was like
no,
10 years ago, I think we were together at Villa Cordevigo, and he was like asking the guy if he could open the Ozeleta, which he kind of ages for, I don't know, 5, 6 years, and I don't know how much it cost. And he opened it for us. It was very cool.
So you've had a long history with Ozoleta, Caterina, I understand.
No, it was just by chance. I mean, I
By
think
chance.
10,
Huh.
15 years when I first
That's
tasted
a
it.
long time. Wasn't it a grape variety that was disappearing, Davide?
no, it's not. I mean, it's not disappearing, but it's forgotten
Forgotten.
But
in the
often they
vineyard.
used it with that it would be like some field blend sometimes in some wines, but nobody
Yeah,
really paid
yeah,
much attention to it. So they
yeah.
might use it, but they didn't mention it.
Exactly what happened to us. I mean, we didn't know actually that we had some grapes of Oseleta, and we find out, when we started to make this wine that is a blend of Merlot and Oseleta, first of all, the result of this marriage is perfect because they are exactly the opposite. I
Yeah.
mean, Merlot is the first harvest of the year. Oseleta, it's harvest in November. Merlot, it's only nose. Oseleta, it's only body. They match perfectly together, and that's why we call this wine Cercastelle. That
Cercastelle.
is fantastic name that in English means looking for the stars, because we were looking and we found it. We found it. So, and the label, it's a sky of stars.
I see.
Probably you can
Pretty. I can see some of it. It's a pretty blue label.
Yeah.
And is
So
it 50-50 or is it 70-30? Is it?
it depends. Every year is different, but more or less it's half and half. Yes. Probably because the first year we started to present it to the market was 2019.
Mhm.
But when we decided that it was okay, we find out that during the tasting, Raffaella and me, we had drank all the barrique. So we had no more wine to sell.
Okay.
You had to taste it too many times, just the two of you. That's actually really funny. Well, that's
Yes.
certainly a good advertisement for your wine.
So we have started in 2020 because the 2019 is gone.
It's
In
gone.
our, yeah, it's gone.
That's
And-
You also had a mini vertical tasting last year, no?
Yes, we have few bottles left, and it's fantastic to see how is the evolution of this Oseleta in the bottle of 2019 are fantastic. We are out now with 2021. That is a good year. We produce only 4,000 bottles. Almost
wow.
nothing.
Well, people are very lucky if they get their hands on one of them. Did we skip over your Amarone? Do you make Amarone?
Yes, we make the Amarone, and the Amarone that has a fantastic name that
What is the name of your Amarone?
I register it. I love it. You know, there is a very famous writer in Italy that wrote romance, but also many novels and so on. It's called Cesare Pavese.
Of course, I know who Cesare Pavese is.
You know, and I'm in love with him. He wrote so well. So, and he was born in a vineyard,
I didn't know
close to Asti.
Oh,
You
I
know?
didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he describes a special magic moment when in the vineyard it's sunny and just of a sudden comes the rain, comes raining. And he says that the light changes and becomes a magic light. So I loved so much the description that took the name Sole and Piove, and I registered Piove Sole.
Dove Sol.
Piove Sole means raining sun. So my Amarone is called Piove Sole from Cesare Pavese.
And what is it like, your Amarone? What is if I opened a bottle of your Amarone, what would it taste like? What kind of
So
an Amarone do you
there
make?
are two characteristics that makes this Amarone very, very different from the others. The first one is that we tried in all the way to have a very low level of sugar. This last edition, that is 2020, is 2 grams liter.
Wow. That's restrained.
Absolutely strange, because you know, Susanna, that
I know.
almost 5-6 times.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
But all the consortium is thinking on this direction, no?
Yes. No, there's been a real kind of retreat from the super residual sugar, very alcoholic. I did a project for Amarone in 2020.
You,
I realized
you
that.
know, exactly. You know very well, Susanna, that if you make it's foolishing the food. I mean, all the food becomes sweet.
Yeah, it's not a great pairing with a lot of foods. With some,
No,
not with everything. Yeah.
exactly. And also, the drinker gets tired of drinking when it's sweet.
Yeah, your palate does get tired.
Exactly.
Yeah, when it's too
So
much.
the second characteristic of our Amarone is low sugar and very, very high acidity. And you know, acidity is working like the soap when you wash your hands.
Of course.
It's cleaning your palate, and
Yep.
that's why it's so drinkable. It's so drinkable that you don't get tired even if you drink 4 or 5 bottles.
I might get tired if I drank 4 or 5 bottles of Amarone.
But then you remember, because
Amarone.
it's 15 degrees alcohol, so after 4 bottles, you are very happy, let's say.
They're very happy. Do you also make ricciotto?
Yes, we make ricciotto, but we make ricciotto completely differently from the others.
And what's your ricciotto like?
Because we like this research, all the time.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so we decided to make a ricciotto from a single vineyard.
Okay.
Usually no one does this, because you know that the ricciotto is the most difficult wine to produce.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy horse. You never dominate, because it's so full of sugar, the grape, no? That is fermenting all the time. You never stop it. And so it's very difficult. So what we did is to decide that a special terrace was the one for the ricciotto. So if the grape is not exactly what we want, we decide from this terrace to produce Amarone or Valpolicella.
Okay.
We don't produce ricciotto.
I see. So
So,
you produce it only in the best years when you feel that it's really
so
what you want it to be?
yeah, it means every 4-5 years.
Mm.
And the terrace is so little that we make a couple of barriques.
Mm.
So 500 bottles.
Wow. So does it age in barrique or caratelli? Are they actually 225 size or smaller?
Yeah, the Recioto is a barrique 225.
That's
But
interesting.
as you can see from the back, my back, we have another characteristic. We have the 2 schools of enology, the
Okay.
Italian school and the French school.
Okay.
Because we all studied enology in French, me and our enologist consultant. So the typical barrel of the Italian style, that is the big barrel of 25 hectoliters, no? And the wine stays 1 year there. Then we put it in the Italian small barrel, Caratello, for another year. And then from the Caratello, they go to the Tonneau that you can see in the back for another year. So they make 3 years, and then they go to the Barrique for some months.
I
So
see.
usually all the wine are 3 years and a half in the barrels, and then almost 1 year in the bottle. So they are all preserved.
All of your wines or just the ricciotto go through this mixed barrel rotation?
All the wines, all the
Wow.
wines.
All of the wine.
Apart the first one,
Mm-hmm.
that is only absolutely no wood. It's
Mm.
just a grape pressed and put in the bottle.
Can you tell us about the winery that we're looking at behind you? So is it an old cave? What am I looking at? Looks like a beautiful
Yeah,
city, but your entire
that,
winery is in there, right?
yeah. There is. This is also another very amazing story because when we bought the hill, on the upper part of the hill, there was a big,
Mm-hmm.
and we went there to visit, and it was an old cave, abandoned, of this pink marble Verona. Was an old cave. The reason why all these caves were abandoned, Susanna, it's because this pink marble, you find it only 9 meters in the deep.
Okay.
It's, so it's very expensive to take
Of
out
course.
because you
Yeah.
have to dig for 9 meters to get it. So they were abandoned. And it was also very bad, the landscape with this cave abandoned. So we decided a way to spend a lot of money. And we find it. We digged inside the cave for 2 years, and we placed inside this winery under the earth. So we are 12 meters under the earth, and up here there is a vineyard,
Amazing.
and there is an architect that made this project, and is zero impact. I mean, you
Mm.
don't see it from the downstairs, from the streets and from the villages of Sant'Ambrogio. If you look up on the hill, you don't see the building because it's under the earth.
Do you have a tasting room? Can people come visit you?
Yes, I have a tasting. We have a
Very
tasting.
cool.
We have actually two winery. One where we are now. It's where we make the wine sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Where the wines age? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and age, in French language, that is the language of phenology,
Mm-hmm.
it's called élevage.
Yes.
That's why Eleva.
Ah, that's why Eleva. Okay, that was another question I was going to ask you. What does Eleva mean? Elevage. Okay.
Because we age all the wine quite longly.
Longer than the disciplinare, the rules ask for.
The
Is that
double,
a style of
at,
your
at,
winery?
at,
Keep things
at,
behind? Yeah.
at least the double.
At least double. That's a
Yeah,
very expensive proposition to keep all your wine back all
absolutely.
that time.
Yeah,
It's a good thing you have another job as an economist.
Yeah.
exactly. And then thanks God I have a partner that is a surgeon.
Yeah,
Perfect. Everybody
he
needs
earns
a
a lot of
surgeon
money.
in their lives. Somebody needs to make the money.
Yeah, but
But it also makes the
Susanna,
wines very particular. So
That's true. Very
yeah,
precise.
no, absolutely. I mean, we have to be honest. You know that making Amarone or the other one after 2 years, it's like killing a baby. I mean, they are,
yeah,
they are, they are babies.
yeah.
That's
No,
true. That's
they
true.
are babies.
No, in
That's
fact, I asked a common friend, Elisabetta, no, a couple of years ago that I was looking for a smaller organic winery that I didn't know about that makes more contemporary wines. So she instantly sent me your name and the Eleva winery. So it's true. I mean, the wines are very particular and more
Yeah,
contemporary.
I mean, I think it's important that you have your personality. Maybe making also mistakes, but keeping your personality. And
Mm,
that's the lesson I learned from the French wines.
yeah.
Mostly of the important wine region that you know very well, Burgundy to Bordeaux, and Alsace, and Saint-Laurent, they keep their personality for 100 years.
Mm.
Hmm.
And in this moment, it's quite a problem because you know that the wine has an enormous price, and I'm spending my time making conferences around the world to explain what is happening. And well, the main point is when will end, if it will end this crisis. The economists, they used to say that probably it's a cycle.
Right.
No? All the economy is a cycle.
Mm.
And this cycle started around 2011,
Mm.
The Twin Towers and so on.
2001, you mean?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a cycle that can end probably 2026, 27. Let's hope.
Let's hope.
And restart.
One can hope. It's
Yeah.
Christmas and holiday time, and we have to live in hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Caterina, do you have any more questions?
No, I think we talked about that you are very into research, and because I also found it very interesting that you're compared to many other wineries, that you're very interested in the young enologist Francesco, and you had some other also that comes, and that you're very open to get input, but also to give to teach them something, and I found that very interesting from the beginning. So. Was that yours and Raffaella's idea from the beginning, to be very open-minded and learn, but also teach?
And you meal, Caterina, you meal. I mean, no, but it's true. I mean, as more you know, as more humble you have to be, because
Yeah.
wine is really a very, very complex and complicated way of producing, and you never finish to learn.
True.
So true.
And I remember I met a wine producer in Alsace, and I asked him, "What's your secret?" No?
Mm.
And he answered, 500 years of harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, okay.
Okay, so I think we've learned a lot. So
A
we've been
lot.
very humble today. We've learned.
Yes.
You're very kind. It was really
And
nice.
still, there's a lot of things to discuss, which we can do another time. And
Yes.
perhaps a last question. So, what will you drink for Christmas? Which one of
Yes.
your wines
Good
will you have?
question. What will you be drinking?
You know, for me, Cercastelle, it's like when you fall in love. I mean, you don't, you can change it, you can cheat it. So I will drink a magnum of Cercastelle,
Oh, cool.
and I have made some pairing with many different chefs of three-star Michelin restaurants and so on. And can I tell you which is the perfect
Please
pairing?
do.
Of
Yes.
course.
Cercastelle with bouillabaisse.
With bouillabaisse. Really?
Do you know bouillabaisse?
Of course I know bouillabaisse.
Of
Yes.
course you know. Of course you know.
Yes, I lived in Dijon when I was in college, but my
Yes,
father loved bouillabaisse. So, yes, I know bouillabaisse. But that's interesting. I would not have picked that. Red wine already with bouillabaisse is interesting,
Yeah.
and then I would think oscilleta with all that tannin. But that's very interesting. Okay.
fantastic
All the
wine.
tannins are
E la
softer.
morte
It's
sua,
like
insomma.
the Salentino, no? That when it's done
Yes.
well, the tannins are softer.
That's so interesting. Okay. Is that what you're having for Christmas, bouillabaisse?
Yeah, but if you come to visit me, you will
We'll have
find
it again. Okay.
Yes, of
All right.
course.
Bouillabaisse in April. It is.
I have also another dish that a famous chef prepared me with Cercastella. Do
What
you
is
want to know?
Yes.
You want to know?
Of course. Yes.
cacio e pepe.
Cacio e pepe. That I could see. That's like, you know, that I could see. But bouillabaisse is a new one for me as a you know, big red. I mean, what is the alcohol on Cercastelle in general?
It's 14.
14. So not exactly.
Not too much,
Not
not
too
too
much.
much. But I learned a lot from the chef that the best pairing is the provocation,
Okay. That's interesting.
not being simple, no? Just making research of something new.
Well, it's good to be open. Let's hope
Yeah.
2026 brings a lot of new things.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So thank you very much for your time and for your attention and for the chance to explain my work and my world. And I wish you could come and see me physically here.
No, thank you, David, as always,
Thank
for
you.
wanting to tell the story of your wines. And I hope to visit you next year too. For those of you who wants to sign up for All That Wine Substack publication, I put the link in the comments. I will put them on Facebook and LinkedIn too. So thanks again, Davide. And if you want to watch this, you can also find it on YouTube. And I guess we'll be back next year with more more things.
Yes.
And,
Okay. Well, thank you both. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day or evening, since you're at 6 o'clock, but I'm at 12. So thank you, and buone feste.
Buona festa. Just hold on for a second while I close the stream. And thank you all again, and see you soon.
See you soon.
See you soon. See you soon. Thank you.